Well, welcome to the Supplement Podcast. It's so great to have you guys back and joining us, whether you are watching on YouTube or you're joining us through audio. It's so great to have you as part of the conversation. My name is Warren. With me, I've got Craig.
Morning.
We've got Wanga. Viva. That's what you went with.
It's your birthday today,
It's your
buddy.
birthday, bro.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear shortness. Happy birthday to you.
We've only sang to Wanga about 20 times at this point, but we're going to see how many we could do.
By the time the day ends, it will be a record, bro.
Yeah, it'll be a win.
So thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
And then joining us around the table is Adrian Van Zyl.
Yeah, fun.
Sawati
Yes.
grap.
What do you say? Sawati?
Sawati grap.
Sawati grap.
Sawati grap.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means hello.
Oh, there you go.
If you're a girl, you say Sawati ka. If you're a dude, you say Sawati grap.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's Thai.
That's Thai.
There we go.
There we go.
So
There we go. Welcome,
Fluent.
Adrian. Nice
Fluent,
to
eh? Look at you. My favorite thing you said on Sunday was that cheers in Thai is,
Chon geo
and it means?
means like chon is accident and geo is glass. So accident glass.
I thought that's so funny. When you like chink your
Chon
glasses
geo.
together, you say
Excellent.
accident
Chon
glass.
geo.
Yeah.
Chon
Yeah.
Accident
geo.
glass. I thought that's so funny.
It's good.
Well, for anybody wondering who Adrian is, so Adrian actually used to be involved here at Urban Life. You came through, you said, as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And you walked a long journey with us, and then you were called to Tokyo,
Yeah.
which was absolutely amazing. So if you want to hear more of that, you can go and check out Sunday's Preach.
Yeah.
I'd encourage you to go and listen to some stories and be just awakened, I feel, to what God is calling you into. But this conversation is beyond the Sunday. So this is some of the things that we didn't get time for, or some things that were unsaid. But it'd be cool to catch up with you a little around what Tokyo was like and the move to Tokyo.
Wait, can I
jump in
yeah,
early?
no, I just want to get some things. Like he was with us on Sunday. Give us some feedback.
Oh, yeah, good as well.
Urban Life, it's nearly a decade. What did you see? What did, give us some apostolic insight into church.
Yeah, well, I guess for me it was a joy to be back. It always is home for me. This was my church community for 13 years, and it was a real joy to be back and seeing a lot of people that I knew, part of the community, had really risen up. Yeah. So I've seen those people who have stuck around. They haven't just stuck around, they've stuck around and grown, and there's been a new grace and a new anointing that they've stepped into. So that was great to see, but also so many new faces, so many people I didn't know, and which is amazing. If a church hasn't been growing, it's not healthy. So for me, is definite signs of life and health and a real passion for Jesus. So I think there was in worship, I was like, man, this was good. People can sing. Yeah, and I could sing as loud as I wanted to, and hopefully the guys next to me didn't hear me. So they didn't hear the strangled goat next to them. But I was loving it. So that was fun. It was amazing, but also real strong community, I think, and that's a beautiful thing. It's not just hey, let's go get our church fix on a Sunday, but we're part of a community, and I think that's really a really big part of mission is community. I think it's not about events. It's not about like having all these fancy events and knowing all these things. Like we've learned in Japan, and 23 years of Lifehouse is the two keys is number one is strong community and a touch of God. That's what is going to be
that's beautiful.
Because that's what's going to see the church growing. That's what people are loving and going to be a part of. So there's definitely both. Yeah, I can see there's strong community and there's a touch of God. It's not just a great meeting, but there's this Holy Spirit is moving and people are experiencing life change. So yeah, it was great. Loved it.
Oh, thanks. And just you spoke a few things around some prophetic essence for you felt for Urban Life, and then so sum that up and also add to it after having been here. Some thoughts, anything that you would go be wanting to charge Urban Life with, what's in your heart, and a kind of, hey guys, don't forget this, do this. I love that. Anything like that.
Yeah, well, I think there's a real sense of God is moving around the earth. Like, obviously, God is always moving, but there's always, like, I guess, waves where it's all of a sudden there's a heightened move of God. And I think it's happening right around the world. And so my encouragement was, like, that this is what God is doing. There is an awakening. There is a stirring in the hearts of people. People are wanting something more. There's a curiosity stirring in people's hearts, and because of that, we need to be ready as a church. And when I mean ready as a church, I don't mean like a few leaders who are pumped about the mission, but the whole church being awakened to this possibility that God can use us, and God has put us strategically in different neighborhoods, universities, schools, workplaces, all of those things, because there are people being awakened in those communities, and we need to be ready for that. So I think that was my stirring, because I know this church has a passion for the lost, and it was in this community that was stirred in me, and it's evident by your big life thing in the corner that this is still a priority in this community. But it's just for me, it wasn't I wasn't trying to like wake up something that's sleeping. It was more like throwing fuel on a fire that's already burning. So it was more like hey guys, you're doing amazing, but there's a new level of grace and anointing for this community because of what God's doing in the world. So, and we could maybe in a moment chat some practical things of what that would look like for people to actually be the salt and the light and be part of mission in their community. So
Great.
So.
Okay, well, back to
It was a great question.
I think it's important because
I agree.
I think the journey let me say the privilege of 31 years and leading here in urban life for 31 years is the joy of seeing the decades of God's faithfulness, but to see God raise up young men like you and come back as fathers. That to me is this beautiful thing of the encouragement that 13, 14, 15 years ago when we pioneered Friday night church, and then young guys came in at that time. And now these young guys are leading. That's an encouragement too. And I think I said to you on Sunday, this is the fruit of much of your labor and the tenure that you were here. It's always good. And then to come back and to get the big perspective of that. And of course the pain of leading for 31 years is of the moments and the difficulties and that. But
I can totally relate. 31 years.
You're not even 31.
Let's sing happy birthday for you again. How's about that?
So relatable, the pain of 31 years.
The joy is far greater. But to actually be able to see that, see the fruit that is. Because I think we want instant fruit. We're a very instant kind of people, aren't we? I think we talked about it once before, is that India now is guaranteeing in some places, cities, 10-minute deliveries. So you order and you can get it in 10 minutes. Wow. Probably in Bangkok you could probably do the similar because of the localities. But 10 minutes, order your thing. So no longer 60-60, it's 10-10. So we are living in such an instant world, and yet, fruit takes years before it produces and these things. And I think that the kingdom is instant, but the kingdom is also years to produce fruit. A vine takes 5.5 years before it'll come to fruitfulness. So to see that, I think it's beautiful to have the bigger picture of that.
It's so good.
So appreciate that. Thanks for coming back.
It's a pleasure.
It's really been cool to see you.
So fun.
Really cool. Okay, so give us a quick short thing. You were talking about your journey, so through Tokyo and back into Bangkok.
So in 2017, January, we moved to Tokyo. So we were sent and blessed by this amazing community, so generous, blessed us with prayer and finances, encouragement. So we went ready and excited, and our goal was just to plant ourselves in this church called Lifehouse for a season. So we really planted ourselves there. We wanted to learn from them. They had been there. They opened up their doors and said, hey, come and learn from us and just have a space to just settle down. But after being there for a few months, we just felt like instead of us starting something new, let's just partner with this community, get plugged in. And it was just an amazing decision. And we it was such a joy, man, to go there and just seeing young Japanese people becoming followers of Jesus and on fire and leading. And so we were just like, man, we want to be a part of this mission. And that's really what we felt God say to me, like us. God's like, I'm doing stuff in Japan and you're welcome to come be a part of it if you want to. So it wasn't, and that's the amazing thing about the mission of God. It's not dependent on us. God's doing it anyway, but he's looking for people who are saying, I want to be a part of that. That sounds exciting. So, and I think that just takes the pressure off you as well, knowing God is moving, and if we don't put up our hands, somebody else will. So, so I'm just like, I want to be a part of that. So, we just went and got jobs in Japan, and the easiest place to do it is teaching. So, we got jobs teaching and just got involved in the church. And after about a year, we became pastors in the church. So we just served in that community, part of reaching Japanese people, but we're also helping with the foreigners. Just multiple things. Then we still always had a little bit of a heart for church planning in us. About a year and a half ago, we moved to Bangkok. And I don't know how much, must I just keep talking?
Yeah.
So,
can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
So I think what knowing a part of your story is that you were on church staff here, and you had some previous work experience. In Bocciabello and kitchen industry and that kind of thing, and then had worked on church staff, kitchen industry. So then had worked on church staff, but then there was the shift of like, you changed nations, which is a massive shift, changed churches, big shift, but then you also changed your day-to-day like work life and began to work while being a part of church ministry. And as we spoke on Sunday, is like that's probably for the majority of people, that is their story, is that you have this job, like a 9 to 5, and also this call of God, and also ministry, and also. So how did you find that shift? And what can you maybe encourage for what you learned from doing teaching and church, how those two can come into harmony?
Yeah, well, I guess the beginning of it was quite a challenge, because we came from a community where everybody knew us, and people like in some way need you, but not that they do need us, but that sense of like you feel important, and you're like, and now you're all of a sudden like nobody knows you, nobody really needs you or anything. So I guess there's a humbling process that you also need to go through, where you need to realize you're not that important. It's like you're not such a big deal. Like God is the big deal. Jesus is the big shepherd. He's the one that people really need, and actually it's you're not such a big deal. Don't take yourself too seriously. And I think there's a humbling process, but that's also an empowering process, because you get to realize that we're in incredible partnership with Jesus, and it's not about being the man of power for the hour. It's a community. It's the church, and that's, I think, the heart of Jesus has always been that every single believer would be part of his body. It's not just a few people. So it's like, wow, okay, this is cool. So it also, in some way, takes that pressure off you. So then, but then at the same time realizing, I can still be a part of serving. I can still be...
Because you went and you started teaching English.
I was teaching.
You and Katherine was a preschool teacher.
I was teaching business English. So I had to put on a suit and go and teach adults how to speak English. That was actually for me, it was also a really interesting learning experience, because a lot of Japanese people are wonderful, but they're also quite reserved. They don't open up very quickly.
Okay.
But when you in teaching, they would just tell you everything. So I got an insight into people's lives and what they were struggling with, and what are the challenges in people's lives, and so because it was very conversation-based English, so we basically sat around a table like this with I had 45 minutes. With 6 students, and then you have a few things you go through, but then it's just conversation, and then I could ask them questions about their life, and we just talk about life and everything. So it was I guess it was a way for me to learn about Japanese culture as well, and just what people were really going through. And I think that's the same thing as for those who are in the workplace. They do understand a little bit more about the struggles and the challenges of being in the workplace, and cash flow, and pressures of all this versus like if you're just working in a church. I think they obviously got they're both their challenges and stuff, but for me it was really like, wow, okay, I get to know what people are really going through. So yeah, so that was a real, obviously, I used to work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night, and like me and Katherine had different work schedules. So I guess on that part it was challenging, but there was still, we felt God's grace and the joy of it. And so, so it was good.
So why Bangkok?
Why Bangkok?
Yeah, because you've moved to Bangkok 18 months ago. Why Bangkok?
Yeah, because, I don't know, good food. Hot weather, tropical cut. No.
But Japanese was Japan has really good food too.
Japan has got good food, but I feel Thailand's food's better.
There's actually, I think there's a secret career narrative here where you're going to become like a Muay Thai fighter. Hey, is that actually what's really unfolding?
Muay Thai cook,
Muay Thai
chef.
No, fighter, boxing, Thai boxing.
Yeah.
So long story short, so my wife and I, Katherine, who I met in this church, we've been married 17 years and been on a journey 15 years now, really praying and believing for a miracle for kids. And it's been, I'll spare you the details, but basically we try to go through adoption in Japan and just many closed doors. It's really hard for foreigners unless you have an American or British passport, but our little green South African passport makes it challenging sometimes. So it was a bit of a challenge. So we just got to this point where it was just closed door after closed door, and the senior pastors of our church, Rod and Viv, we just had a lunch with them one day, and they just said, "Hey guys, we really want this for you guys. We love having you in Tokyo and love having you on the team here, but we want to." Let's talk about like what are the possibilities for you guys, because the doors seem to be closed here, but maybe there's a new door, maybe there's new opportunities. So they said we also have other Lifehouse churches that need like people to step in and help grow and all of that. So we'd maybe go look at those nations. So we also looked at Bali, and we also have a church in Seoul. So we looked at Korea, we looked at Hong Kong, we looked at all of these places, but also a lot of them we weren't able to adopt in those nations. So, but we really had a heart for Asia. We're really excited for what God's doing in Asia. And so, we started looking around, like, where could we? So we just jumped on the Google and figured out and found, after some research, that it was Vietnam or Thailand, where South Africans at our age could adopt. We were like, well, let's start praying into this. We started chatting with Rod and Viv and the leadership, and so I think it was a combination of us. We really felt Thailand, but Rod, who's the senior leader, they actually lived in Thailand for 4 years. He can speak Thai.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he can speak Thai. Monty, his son, who now leads the Tokyo campus, was born in Bangkok, and so they feel like, and they had to leave for some other reasons, but he always felt like he had unfinished business in Thailand, and so all of a sudden, like, after they had left 30 years ago. 30 years later, they felt like, wow, there's a new open door. So they felt like there was already prayer and seed sown into.
Wow.
So he was like, there feels like there's already seed planted in this nation. So and we visited Bangkok just like we visited Tokyo, just to put our feet down. And man, we just loved it. We're like, great food, great people, just amazing cities. So we're like, we feel like we can live here. So that's how we ended up deciding to go to Bangkok, but at the same time just had a real passion for the gospel there, because just like Japan, they're less than 1% Christian, so it's 94% Buddhist, and then 5%, I need to do my maths now, 5% Muslim, and then 1% Christian. So we're just saying, like, here's a really open nation. Harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. So let's go. Let's go be some workers in this nation. So that's what led us there.
And you are teaching preschoolers. This
I am.
is the amazing thing. He is a preschool teacher.
I'm a preschool
How's
teacher.
that?
I feel like I'm just getting cook, preschool, business,
So basically we needed a way to earn some money and also get some visas. And there's an amazing church that we had connected with as Lifehouse during COVID, because we were doing some online things and they wanted to learn, and we kind of connected. And so it's just an amazing church called Nexus. They got, I think, 30 churches across Thailand. So just a really strong Thai-led Thai church. We just connected with that church, and they were also wanting to start a school, an international school. So they needed some people who could speak English.
International teachers.
They needed some international teachers, and so they needed a teacher. I needed a job and a visa. So we joined. So I've been there teaching we're in our second year now. So I'm a kindergarten teacher. So I basically run around with. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how much my kids are learning. They're having fun though. I don't know if they're getting an education. They feel safe, they feel loved, they're having a lot of fun. But but I'm actually teaching kids how to read, and I'm like, I can barely read, so this is fun. Yeah.
God has a sense of humor. Awesome. It really is beautiful, though, isn't it? But I love the fact that you're willing to do anything. You can teach Japanese, business, English. Just put your hand up for anything. That's incredible. I think you said on Sunday, switch on to mission was a phrase that caught my heart. Switch on to mission. And I think that's a great phrase, something that needs to pop in our lives, our hearts, the church again. We've been a church that's been on mission. But I think, not that we haven't been, but into nations, but there's seemingly I think a switching on to mission again. So I think that's Jesus came to seek and save the lost. That was his mission. Like, and what brings joy to heaven is when one lost sheep is found, when that lost coin. Those Luke 15 parables. Like, the key to all of that is the joy of heaven. So what brings joy to heaven is salvation. And I think that's what. We actually say in Thailand and Japan, we don't leave the 99 for the one, we leave the one for the 99. Because it's switched around. So, I think there's such a joy in just seeing people come to know Christ. And we're loving that. Like, I love to sit and talk, because, we're meeting with Thai people now that some of them have had a little bit of exposure, because there are quite a few Catholic schools. So some of them have heard a little bit about Jesus, but not 100% like understanding grace and all of that. So they've heard about Jesus, probably more than Japanese people. But they don't understand. They're not understanding what this gospel is all about. They know Jesus is the Christian dude, and that's about it. Wow. And he's died on a cross, but not sure why. So it's so amazing when you start to talk to people about grace. And even the Sunday before we left, we were running Alpha, and one of the questions, so we do like a language exchange, so people can come, we advertise it, like, come and practice English. We call it English with Friends, and the whole focus is to have a relaxed atmosphere where you can practice English. And we tell people this is hosted by a church, but you don't have to be a Christian. We're not going to talk about anything about Jesus. We're just going to do fun about English, and we have fun. And then afterwards we say, hey, our English with Friends is over, but you're welcome to stay. We got this thing called Alpha. We watch a video. We talk about some things that is talking about what Christians believe in perspective. So if you're interested, and there's time for conversation, and you can share what you believe. You don't have to take what we believe. So it's really a relaxed atmosphere. So we had Alpha, and one of the questions in the Alpha is like, it's, if God exists, what would you ask God? So one of the guys, Sunny, Thai people have the best nicknames. So Sunny, he basically, so he's been connecting with our language exchange community for a while. He's even been over to our house for dinner with our community. So he's quite connected in the community. But he just said, he's like, man, if God really existed, I really want to ask God, how do I break out of this cycle? Because in Buddhist teaching, there is this idea of karma. So you get, basically, if you do really well in life, you get reborn into a good cycle. And the goal is basically is nirvana, which is to cease to exist. And the whole goal is you want to break out of the cycle. That's what the Buddha did, in essence. So he broke out of the cycle, so you no longer have to experience pain.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's the whole mindset of, like, I'm probably butchering it, but it's that kind of idea.
So is the essence kind of like escaping pain and living in like euphoria?
Because he saw he experienced the pain of life, and he was like, man, this is just like we need to escape from this pain.
Bring the coffee in, guys. We need to
Talking
escape
about-
from
there you
this
go.
pain of no coffee. We want to escape the cycle of caffeine.
No caffeine.
No caffeine. This is good. So for those of you who are listening, we're about to
Get
be
some good
brought
coffee
some good coffee
and some snacks.
and
Winning.
some snacks.
Coffee with friends
some
and
crunchies,
microphones.
Coffee with friends.
Thank you.
English with
you, guys.
friends.
Oh, my word.
Cortados,
Ooh, that looks
coffees.
lekker.
I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat anything now.
Can I have,
What are you
can I
having,
have one of
Cortado?
those things?
Having this.
I'll have that. What do you want, bud?
I'll have one of them little guys.
There we go.
I think.
It's a cortado. Yeah.
the
Oh, you're not
Cortado.
having coffee?
No, I'll have a coffee.
You're having a coffee.
And a crunchy.
Yeah, why not? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Kapung khap.
Kapun khap.
Okay.
So,
So anyway, back to Sunny. So
Back
he
to
was.
Sunny,
He
yeah.
said, "I want to break out of the
Sunny
cycle."
boy.
yeah, so he was just like, man, I want to break out of this cycle because life is hard, man. There's pain, and I think people are aware of that. And so it's like, how do I do good? And is there some way that I can? Because I don't want to be reborn again into something else and go through pain again and pain and pain and so I didn't actually have an opportunity to chat with him because I needed to get to the airport and come. But then I messaged him when I got to the airport and I just said, hey, Sonny, like, I loved your question. Would love to share what we believe as followers of Jesus. And I just got to talk to him about what Christ did and incredible grace, how grace breaks you out of the cycle, that Jesus is the one who took our pain. Because Jesus, he's not like trying to help us escape pain. He steps into pain and he takes it upon himself so that we can have eternal life. And I just shared this with him. He was like, man, this is a relief. When you get back, let's talk.
Wow.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
it's just like, man, like that,
Incredible.
like there's nothing more amazing than that, being able to share that.
So,
yeah.
Adrian, there's no restriction on you sharing the gospel in Thailand.
No restriction at all. Yeah, I think the Buddhist cultures are very open and accepting, and it's actually really nice to live in a Buddhist culture because everyone's trying to really do good and be very open and accepting. So it's a very peaceful community, and people are very welcoming and open and accepting of different religions and cultures and all of that. So yeah, there's no restrictions. There is a bit of, I guess, I think for some people, like they don't want to rent a space to a religious organization and stuff. So there are some challenges, but there's people aren't hostile towards Christianity. Yeah.
Okay.
And how are you finding, because having been to Japan with you, and it is a very modern, everything works, clean, neat little boxes. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then having been to Bangkok as well, it's not like Singapore.
Yeah.
So Singapore is kind of a bit like Japan in that way.
Yeah.
But Bangkok's a little more dirty. You go on that. Is it the Mekong River? What's that big?
The Mekong is up in the
that
north,
top-
the
what's
Chao Phraya River.
The Chao Phraya River, where you got the floating gardens and you have this idea, but it's quite dirty. But lots of idols, or you would say these
Spirit houses.
Is that what they call them?
Spirit houses, yeah.
So I mean, it's the city's full of that, and how have you found that in the sense of? Well, maybe explain that. I mean, there's the sleeping Buddha. I remember going to visit that.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
You didn't go there? So I've
Not
been
yet.
somewhere where you haven't
Yeah.
been.
I've been to, there's one massive Buddha.
Yeah, there's lots of Buddhas
all over the
and,
places,
yeah.
So first of all, what is a spirit house? It's like, so basically outside of most buildings, like even our condo has a massive spirit house and people's houses. It's just a place, people make these houses where they can offer not sacrifices, like stuff for their ancestors and spirits.
Do they have the festival of the hungry ghost there?
Yeah, that was just before. Yeah, like I think the Saturday before I flew.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They put out food for the hungry ghost.
Yeah,
It never
yeah.
gets eaten.
Yeah, I know. It does get eaten by the pigeons. Pigeons have a
It's the
field-
most amazing thing. You go like, this is the thing
What
for
would happen if I went and ate it?
No, I don't know. But you put the food out to the hungry ghost, but the ghost's not very hungry because he never eats.
Is
But
it like Santa's milk and cookies kind of vibe?
kind of, yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of spiritual things, like there's temples and but you don't feel like every taxi you get into has got a little Buddha in the front. So yeah, I guess it's all over.
It's like similar to India. Not that I've been to India.
No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's similar to India. It's like, so Singapore, it's in Asia, it's in that region. Yeah. So there's lots of those kind of things, Buddhist belief, and those kind of things. But I mean, it's not oppressive in a way. Like I think in some countries and some beliefs that you're not allowed to share, you're not allowed to speak the gospel.
That's really cool.
You can't have church in the normal, those sort of things. So it's a great opportunity in a way, isn't it? To see the gospel.
Yeah, I think people are very open to spiritual things. So people are very open to having conversation. And it doesn't, both in Japan and Thailand, because sometimes people say like, oh, like Asia is dark and heavy and oppressive. It's not. Like it feels the same as when I'm here or wherever I am, because the Spirit of God lives inside of me. So the light is in me. So you don't have, like, it's not obviously there's more challenging in engaging with mindsets and all of that stuff, but you don't feel the heaviness. And obviously any like church planning, there is like I've experienced new levels of warfare and the weight of it. Someone said to me, in ministry there's the weight, there's the work, like the actual stuff that you do, the day-to-day meeting with people, preparation, all of that, but then there's also the weight of it, the weight of the mission, the burden you carry for people, and like the love that you have for people, and sometimes you feel like you want more for them than they want.
I carry the weight of
and then there's the warfare. There's the spiritual warfare. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. And I think I've always experienced that in ministry, but I guess being now in church planning, it's like a new level. Like you're like, whoa, okay,
standing in the front.
Yeah, you're standing in the front, and so I think there has been that sense of warfare, but yeah, it's not because it's in Thailand that it's more demonic or anything. It's just.
So talk to us about church planting. Where are you at in that process? Have you planted the church, or are you gonna plant? Where you at?
Yeah, we've planted the church, and I guess so. We started with my wife and I. So Lifehouse, normally our policy for church planting is that there's three things. You need a lead couple or lead person who really has vision for this. It's not like the leaders have the vision, but the person going doesn't. You need a conviction that this is what God's called you to. You got a vision for that nation, that city. Second thing is you need a team. And the third thing is you need some finances to kind of help you get off the ground. And so we had the finances and the couple, but we didn't have the team. But it was a bit of a special situation because we wanted to get in there. And we had originally had a chat with another church, and that we were going to go join one of their church plants and then eventually build up a team and start our church. But that didn't kind of work out. So it was a bit of a challenge in the beginning, just my wife and I, but there was also no pressure for us to like, you have to perform, you have to get your numbers up quickly. It was just like, hey, we're behind you guys, just go meet some people. So we started our language exchange, and we were like, let's go meet some people. And our first language exchange was my wife and I and two other people. So that was fun. And we slowly but surely built that up and
So what sort of numbers are you getting at the language exchange? I mean,
so between like 20 to 30 people now
so that's on a Sunday?
Yeah, on a Sunday. So what our Sunday looks like right now is, so 11 a.m. we meet for connect groups. So those are people who are now followers of Jesus, wanting to grow. That's our discipleship moment where we're really discipling people.
Where do you do that?
We do that. We're renting a venue at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we rent a venue from 11 till 3.
Oh, so it's just
Yeah, so temporary, and it's really close to a train station, easily accessible. It's really cool. Yeah, so 11 till 12 we do connect group, and then we have lunch together as a community, and then at 1 p.m. people come for our language exchange, and then afterwards we do alpha.
So you would advertise that social media or?
There's actually an app called We Go Where. So it was
We Go Where?
We Go Where.
Oh, We Go Where?
Yeah, so it was developed by some young Thai people, and straight after COVID, they really felt like, man, people need to start getting out again. We need to start meeting people. We need to get social again, and people have become so isolated, and people aren't connecting. So like they created this app. So you basically can, on this app, you can say, I'm going to dinner, at this restaurant, and there's I want 4 other people to come with me, and then
What?
And you can be like, oh, I'm coming, or hey, we're going
Strangers,
to
anybody.
I'm going to this bar,
Amazing,
and I'm booking a table of 10. Who wants to come?
That's so cool.
And then once you sign up or you click you're interested, you can actually create a chat group with people on the app, and you can talk. And so we just actually use that. We're like, hey, we're doing English for Friends, and we can put up to 50 people, and then people just scroll through, I want to try that, and then they join, and then you basically can chat to them, you can send them photos. Yeah, so we use We Go Where. We tried Meetup, there's another app for that, but that's a worldwide one, but we found that it was only like foreigners were coming to that. Foreigners were using it, Thai people weren't using it. So we tried it, and we just got like a bunch of foreigners, which there's nothing wrong with that, but our heart is Thai people.
Bunch of foreigners.
Yeah, so
you're talking like a Thai, really.
damn foreigners. We're called Farangs.
Oh, really?
It comes from Farangset, which is France. So the first kind of white faces that came were French. So now we're all Farang. And in Thai, the word for guava is also farang. So sometimes I'm like, these damn guavas.
So you at 1 o'clock, people start coming.
Yeah, so people come, and then we just for an hour we have just a fun language exchange where.
What did that look like? I mean, just very simply, like
we always have like a fun. We normally have a theme. So today's theme is all about travel, or today's theme is all about work, or whatever. We just pick a theme, and then we normally have like a fun introduction where you have to basically go meet like a few people and tell them 2 truths and a lie. And
all in English.
All in English. So everything's done in English. We don't do any translation for that. We do have some of our Thai people at each table if someone needs help. So we've got a team of people that help with that.
How is Thai generally in English?
Thailand, the Thai people, the level of English is way higher than it is in Japan.
Is it? So are the young people speaking English?
Yeah,
I mean,
especially if you go out of Bangkok, it's not as much. But Bangkok, business and university students, schools, all high-level English. So even just living in Bangkok is a lot easier than Japan. Like you go to the bank, they have people who speak English. The banking apps, they have English apps, and all.
Okay. So the level of English is more. So the language exchange would be more a practicing of English, not a learning of English.
Yeah. So people are coming because they know English, but they just don't have a space to practice it.
Okay.
So I think most people come because they want to make friends. Yeah. So people are really, I think people are desperate for friendship. I think after COVID, I think it really shook the world up, and people and working from home. So a lot of people work from home still, and so they don't see anybody during the week except for on Zoom. So they're really craving relationship, and so they're like, man, I need to get out and actually go and talk to some people. So we really so our focus wasn't, we're really trying to build community. So we've like one of our things at Lifehouse, we say let every community be an outreach, and let every outreach be a community. So we never want to just do events and stuff. We really want to build community, because number one, if people will stay in community. People will get drawn. People are going to belong before they believe. They're going to want to be a part of this community. They love the community. But also for those who are followers of Jesus, like you want to, for it to be sustainable, it has to be fun. You need to enjoy it. You can't. Yeah. Obviously, there are times where we do outreach and it's a challenge and you have to get out of your comfort zone. But ultimately, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's not going to be sustainable. So I enjoy language exchange.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I love meeting new people, and it's fun. We have fun conversations, and we're laughing, and so it's not like a burden for me. It's not like, oh man, I need to go do this again. It's like, man, I love this, and I think that's what evangelism should be like. Let's do some. I'm passionate about this sport, let me do that. I'm passionate about this, but let me build a community around this that I'm going to connect with people in. So so that's really what our language exchange is all about.
So, and I just want to go back. I want to get that. You said every community, every gathering be a community.
Every community should be on outreach.
Outreach.
Should be outreaching, and every outreach should be a community.
Okay.
So we always encourage, because we have, as obviously for a smaller church, you're one community, but as the church grows, we have like young adults, we have youth, we have young workers, families, all of that. So all of those communities exist for those people of that demographic to have community, to connect. But we're encouraging, don't just have that community for you guys, be thinking about how we outreach. So even like in Tokyo, we have families, but they also, instead of just being all the families that have fun together and have a great place to grow together, it's like, why don't we think of how do we reach new families as this community? So they started doing kids English, which is, it's overtaken our other outreaches. It's busting at the seams in Japan. They just basically offer, like, on a Sunday morning we got kids church or normal church that happens, let's say 10 to 11, but from 9 to 10 they have kids English. So we just advertise, come and have free English. And the parents bring their kids, like sometimes 20 families come and bring their kids to kids English, and we've got all these like international teachers in the community. So they're just doing this. They really high quality, and then we just say, hey, you're welcome to come around, stick around. We got kids church. It's going to be Christian, and then the parents stay in kids church, and their kids come, and we've seen so many families come to Jesus through kids English. Yeah.
See, I think we need to link this outreach to community. So we have understood around community, and it's something that in a way we have built a patio and our campus to be a community. I think you saw that on Sunday. There is so much communion. So we've taken our communion and put it outside. Yeah. Instead of being inside, we've put it out, and that's why, the whole thing with bread and that, and people are drawn to it. In fact, we had a couple who dropped off their son in the driveway, looked up onto our patio, saw community, and said, "But we want that." Yeah. So they couldn't even see inside the building. They didn't know who preached or whatever it is, but they looked and saw community and said, and they were heading to another church, and they dropped off their son. Yeah. But then didn't go to the other church, parked, and came. Yeah. And I go, so I think community is very appealing. Yeah. But in it, I think our community can become very inward focused around us. So it's strong. We want that. Yeah. But I think the thing that we got to start looking at is linking that to an outreach. So that every community be an outreach, every outreach be a community. Yeah. I love that language because I think unless it's not intention. Yeah. So it can just wrap itself into, and then
100%, it's community for the sake of community.
Yeah, and then it's inward focus. It's for me instead of going, actually, this community is for others, not just for me. Yeah. But otherwise, so we become a very inward focused, greedy, selfish people. Yeah. So we then start to see church for me, community for me, and not community for someone else. Yeah. So we become cliquish, inclusive instead of including others. Anyway, I think that's just something that's rolling in my head right now. Yeah. I think that's a key.
Yeah, and it breathes life. It keeps the community alive, because if it just stays the same community, you build great relationship, it becomes stagnant. But when there's new people coming in, there's life, and it's vibrant. And I think that's what is exciting. There's always new things, and it becomes part of your heart and your language. Like, we all want this community. So
I think in some way, the Food and Friends, has kind of brought an element of that. I think we could.
But 100%. But I think we got to make sure that we got to make it, because we could have our Food and Friends, and it's the same Food and Friends every cycle, which is great. But unless we are going, who else needs to be at this table? Yeah. We're gonna become. It's a thing. So I think we got to look at that. So appreciate. But let's go back. You're doing in the afternoon you're doing the practicing your English, and then
we do Alpha afterwards. We do Alpha, or sometimes we do something we've called Good Words, Good Life. So I think a lot of Thai people are very open to like self-improvement. There's a big move towards health and mental health things. So physical health, eating healthy, exercising, good mental health practices. So people are very open to let's talk about some positive things. So we kind of use that to say, hey, like we want to share some good words from the Bible, and we really believe that these good words from Jesus can really help you and will really inspire you. And so, yeah.
So what would be some of those things?
So we'll talk about just a simple verse on forgiveness.
Okay.
And just talk about the power of letting something go, and actually what Jesus taught about.
Is that something that you as Lifehouse have developed as a series? Or
it's just something we put up. We just started in Bangkok.
Okay.
But yeah, they do something similar with the families in Japan. So they will have before, so just after the kids English, they'll invite families, say, hey, we're going to have this thing, and then they'll start with same with Good Words, Good Life. We always start with an opening question. It's kind of like Alpha. We've used the same style where it's just a fun question. So you'll just I can't think of something right now. I've gone blank. But just a fun, everyday, relatable question. Then we'll read a Bible verse and we'll maybe share like 2 or 3 minutes on it, and then we'll ask another question based on that Bible verse. And in that way, we're also trying to teaching people how to start asking questions themselves from the Bible verse. Like, what does this mean for you personally? And that people start reflecting on the Bible verse already. So we'll have I'll just pull out Jeremiah 29:11. So we'll talk about just
good word, good.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just say, hey, like the first question will be like, tell us about. Do you have one of your goals that you have for this year? And then somebody like, or are you a person who sets goals? And if you are, like, what's one goal you've set for this year? So we'll have a discussion. Then we're like, hey, we're going to share this Bible verse, and this is just God's heart for you. And this is what we as believers, as followers of Jesus, we really believe that God has a good plan and purpose for your life, and this is an invitation to come and seek Him to discover what this is. And so, if this Bible verse is true, not if it is true, we say, like, for example, like, how does this Bible verse make you feel, or what stands out to you from this Bible verse, and get people talking about it. So it's very simple, and I think we're looking for. I heard someone teaching once, when you look at the ministry of Jesus, he loved the crowds. I'm not like, hey, I love the crowds, kind of like that. Yeah. He just loved on the crowds. Yeah. He loved them. He blessed them. He fed them. He healed them. But he was looking amongst the crowd for the curious. Who's hungry? Who's asking questions? And then he would engage those people, and those would become the committed. So it's the fancy CCC.
There you go. Eh?
So I think for me, it's always like our language exchange is the crowd. So we're just loving people. But not everybody is going to be curious. Not everyone's going to lean into Jesus. But you look, oh man, there's something. This person, when we talk about this, they think
break free from my cycle.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, cool. Now let me go and talk to that guy. Let me invest time with that guy. So I think that's the thing. Even when we're talking about this, every community needs to be an outreach. You're going to have big amounts of people. Pastor Rod, he always said, you need to meet 100 people. And maybe 10 of those people would be interested in coming to church or engaging more. And out of those 10 that actually come, maybe 3 or 4 are actually going to become disciples of Jesus. So, yeah, we just got to meet a lot of people. So that's what we're doing. You just have to meet people. Because, again, like from the messages that I shared on Sunday, God is the one who's drawing hearts. So we're not 100% sure where people are in their journey, what God's doing. And so we just need to meet people. But you will recognize, and I think that's where we need to be aware. Because if we need to be aware that, okay, well, I can see there's something happening in this person. There's a curiosity. There's a stirring in their heart. Let me push in a little bit more. And that's where the power of questions comes in. So instead of just diving into saying, hey, do you believe in Jesus and Jesus can do this? You can just be like, when I shared that, I could see something in your heart. Like you seem to be thinking about it, or you said this, like, what did you mean by that? Like, where are you? So I think Jesus was a master of that.
Do you do this round tables, or do you sit in circles?
Well, it's normally...
what's your sort of format in that? Is there different or...
Well, it's normally those, because obviously you'd notice these things during an alpha chat, or good words, good life. And then so afterwards, when we kind of finish, I'll go chat to that person. So I'll just go and walk up to them and chat with them. Or if I don't get an opportunity, I'll just use Instagram. I'll just drop them a message. Yeah, so I think there's many different ways that you can do it. But I think it's normally a one-on-one thing. So I don't normally...
So you haven't started meeting as like in a classic, let's call it church.
No, we haven't started that.
Worship, preach.
No, we really want to do that soon, but we just felt like our team isn't ready for that. Because we really, for that to be a fruitful and effective, you need a team. And so our team, we have a great team, but they've all literally just become Christians. So we helping them, helping disciple them, and helping them.
Jesus and his disciples.
Yeah. So
they love music. You were saying, hey?
Yeah, Thai people love music. They just love singing karaoke, man, all the time. Yeah. So people just want to sing. So I think there's a big. People love singing and all that. So we'd love to get to a service at some point, hopefully end of this year or beginning of next year. But we just need our team to be ready, because we still have a small community of people, and also a service is a bit awkward if you got like 10 people. So I think we're seeing fruit in our discipleship groups and all of that. But we'd love to get to a point where we do worship and service and preaching and all of that. So but
what's the expat community like in Bangkok? Helpful, unhelpful, big, small?
There's a big expat community, and we've had a few expats come, but they've mostly been unhelpful. So we found that in Japan as well. You've got two kinds of foreigners. You've got those that come in and...
Two kinds of guavas.
Yeah, two kinds of guavas.
One's full of worms, other one's very nice.
People who come and just want to say, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And why don't you do this? And we're just like, well, thanks for coming. See you later. But then there's also those that come in and their hearts are really moved. They're like, wow, this is beautiful and this is amazing. And that's what we often said, like, hey, if you're in Japan or Thailand for 1 year or 10 years, like, come and be a part of reaching and serving Japan. And there's been so many amazing foreigners that have done that. But then there's also those that just come in and they're like, why do you do this? Why do you do this? And we're like, see you later, buddy. So so we haven't tapped into that. We haven't really gone after that yet in Thailand either.
But there may be somebody listening to this podcast and they're just going, hey, you know what, I'm feeling the nudge, the call, the outreach. But I think these are important things to go, like, if you're prepared to go, hey, like you guys did, just go and serve and go and learn and be part of and serve, and don't ask, don't become like, I want to teach you anything, but go in and serve. It could be helpful, one or two, and I'm going, hey, it would be incredible to have servant-hearted, kingdom-minded, really submitted, honoring, generous, helping people that could help that community.
We have a great girl who was at Doxodea in Pretoria, and she's now teaching English in Bangkok. And she actually got invited to our church by a non-Christian Thai girl that was part of our language exchange. They taught in the same school, and she was like, "Oh, you're a Christian? I'm part of this language exchange. It's part of a church." So she invited her. She came, and she's been such a blessing to us. That's awesome. So she came in, and she's one of the uncomplicated foreigners where they just like, this is amazing. I want to be a part of that. So
so but you also don't want too many, so it becomes like a foreigners' church.
So we want an international church. So we want a mixture of foreigners and Thai, but the focus is, our mission is young Thai people.
Wow.
Cool.
So do you have an encouragement? Let's say people are listening and they are in the workplace currently, love Jesus, are on board for the mission, but wants to see more of that unfold in their lives. What encouragement would you give them? Because they could hear your story and go, wow, like, you guys have given up much, you've gone over, which I think definitely is for some people. But let's say someone's got a 9 to 5 and they feel like, how do I get on board for the mission of God in a greater way?
Yeah.
What would you encourage them
Yeah,
with?
because you don't just want to. It's not a step from here to Thailand or
100%, yeah.
What are some of the
There's
first
a genuine
steps?
passion,
100%.
but a struggle in like
100%.
how do I actually grab a hold of the mission in a greater way?
Put the cookies on the bottom shelf. How can I start this process?
Yeah, well, I think for me, the first thing is really, this is not an individual mission. This is you part of a church. And that's always been the thing, is because I've also seen like some movements where it's missionaries and it's kind of like people go and they try and do their thing. But actually, I think God's plan A is the local church. So really understanding that you being part of the mission of Jesus is you being part of you playing your part in a local church.
Beautiful.
And so I think it's not about like, let me go and do my mission, but it's let me be a part of, let me find my space, let me find my grace gift in the local church, and let me be a part of that. So yeah, I think there's the side of being committed to growing as a disciple, so being part of your food with friends and growing as a disciple, and being a part of prioritizing church on a Sunday, prioritizing giving towards the mission. There's all of those kind of things, but then also I think looking for the curious in your workplace. So looking for the curious in your your community. Maybe it's your sporting community, your hobbies, all of those things, because you're going to meet people who are curious. And I think one thing we love to teach people is learn to tell your story. Learn to tell your story well. And there's, I guess, 3 parts to a story. There's my life before Jesus, how I encountered Jesus, and what impact Jesus has had on my life. We really encourage people to learn to tell it well and learn to tell it short. So like if you should be able to tell that story in under 3 minutes, because you never know when you're going to have an opportunity. And because I think there is nothing more powerful than a story. And I think I love there's that encounter where that demonic guy who comes to Jesus and he casts the demons out into the pigs and all of that. And he's like, he wants to come to Jesus, and Jesus simply says to him, go to your people and tell them your story.
Yeah.
Tell them what God has done. So I think there's something so powerful about that. And I think every person needs to realize they have a story. Because I always thought I didn't have a story, because I was like, man, I didn't do crazy things, and I wasn't like in prison and had on drugs and all of that stuff. But actually Jesus has still done significant things in my life, and I can talk about that. And so look for the curious in your workplace. And again, it's not, I think people need to be equipped with asking questions. So some of the best evangelism tool is learning to ask good questions. So if you see somebody in your workplace that is, maybe they're going through something, or they're struggling with something, or you can see there's a curiosity, start asking some questions, and just get good at asking questions. Like, hey, like I noticed you were talking about that, and you know what, would it be okay if I pray for you? And it doesn't have to be like intense. It's just like, hey, like I've seen in my church community or in my life, I've seen God do this. I would love to pray for you. And I think most people would say, okay. Yeah, I don't think, obviously you're going to meet those people like, God, who's that? You're going to meet those people, but I think most people would
But
be
if
like,
they're curious,
they're
going to be open. So if you're looking for the curious, I think we live under the tyranny of, if one rejects me, I'm rejected. Instead of going, and that's, I can get rejected 99 times, but one is accepted. Or the 3 and the 4. We need to change our numbers, isn't it? Because we were very quick to go.
And I think that's a big part of this as well. Is you need to learn to, like Jesus said, shake the dust off your feet. When he sent his disciples out, he said, you're going to go to some places, people aren't going to open up to you. Shake the dust off your feet and move on. So that's the thing, is like we can hold on to disappointment, and we can hold on to rejection, and that's just let it go. And I think if you don't let it go, you're going to become discouraged, and you can become despondent, and you're not going to continue. But if you just learn to let it go, wipe the dust off your feet and move on, that's okay. And sometimes, are you giving up on those people? No, I'm not giving up on those people. I just know there's a lot more people that I can go reach. So it may be maybe there isn't, maybe in a year or two that person will be open. Yeah, so you never know. So yeah, I think just wipe the dust off your feet and move on.
So there's, you're talking about, grow in your relationship.
Yeah.
Get involved in the life of the church.
Yeah.
Begin to serve, do those things.
Yeah,
and that. Look for the curious. What about the call of God? Help somebody and help us with understanding the call of God. Curious, call.
Yeah.
I'm just going in the seas.
The seas,
So
yeah.
we've talked about community, curious. Yeah, but I think there is the greater thing is building the call of God.
Yeah.
So you're saying, I love the fact, knowing your story, you did that year with YWAM, I think it is, on mission, but then you came back and found
New thing every time, right? I'm like,
the beauty of the church, and that really is, because
Yeah.
that's a peg that you now, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's the church.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
local
my
church.
mission. It's
Yeah.
the church.
Yeah.
And how do I find my call within that?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things I shared on Sunday with Peter's story is that God steps into our world. God interrupts us. There's a stirring in our heart, and I think that's often how it starts. I think, and that stirring should lead you to seeking more. So another example is Moses and the burning bush. So he was just doing an everyday life thing. He was a shepherd, and he's just walking, and shepherds see bushes burning, and it's part of life. But there was something that caught his attention, because it says the bush didn't stop burning. So Moses, he was like, this is strange. There's something here.
It wasn't consumed.
Yeah, it wasn't consumed. So he went to investigate. It was like, let me go check what's happening here. And as soon as he gets there, God says to him, like, Moses, you're on holy ground. So, and he called, take off your shoes. That's how you know God loves Asia.
Yeah. Take off your shoes before you come in.
Yeah, take your shoes off before you come in, bro.
the South African thing as well.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, so I think there was something about if there's an interruption or something stirring in your heart, and it could be something has moved your heart, or something you're frustrated about, or you see something and because often, like, if we need to do something about that, and then, like, who's we? Maybe you're the we.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can see something can be stirring your heart, and I think God stirs our hearts for different things. Maybe your heart is stirring for a certain community of people. Maybe it's young people, or it's people in this community, or you want to do, you feel God stirring you to do this, or there's something in your heart that stirs, and I think that's where you need to go and investigate. Like, what would it mean to do this, and start talking to people about it, and those that you trust, and start praying into it. So I think there's definitely that. And then there's the classic saying, like, it's easier to steer a moving ship. So sometimes I think we're waiting for this big revelation of what we need to do, and we're just kind of waiting. I'm not going to move until there's a big something. But actually, once you get out, once you start doing stuff, it's easier to lead you, and you're going to stumble upon things. And yeah, so I think Jesus teaches on this, like, those who are faithful with the small will be trusted with more. So I think we often, God will spark the vision for the more, but you need to first be faithful with the small. So yeah, you're like,
good.
okay, I have this right now, and I can do this, and I'm going to be faithful with it. I'm going to pray into it. I'm going to do what God's called me to, and just serve faithfully, and then God will lead me into the more. So yeah, I think for every person listening, like, God does have a plan and a purpose for your life, and there is a call on your life. It's not for an elite few, but yeah, what is God stirring in your heart? Investigate, lean in, and then just be faithful with what's in your hands. And I think the best thing is be open and teachable, because that's the best thing you can do. I think you need to be open. You need to be a teachable person, because if you're not, you're not going to go anywhere, because God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble.
Let's drill a bit into that, because I think that's one of the things that I think young people, it's an interesting, I've been looking at Lamentations recently, just not in a way the whole book of Lamentations, but the central key thought of Lamentations is this the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, and His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of central thought and belief in this grief-stricken poems around Lamentations, you know.
Yeah.
But it goes on to say, it is good for a man to bear the yoke in his youth. So it's good to bear the yoke in his youth.
Yeah.
And I think for young people, and it's probably something I want to share at your Blaze weekend, whatever you're doing, because that's the thought that I've started to build and going, actually to bear the yoke in your youth, you know, which is that getting under the ox, the yoke. But it's becoming teachable. I think it's one of the key kind of lessons to learn. I would go I would say, if you had asked me, I'd be going honor, teachable, humble. You know, if you're just going to hit 3, I'm going to go. You get those 3, and it's almost that's the burden that of young people we've got to think, because we're full of pride, we all are. But you know, to not honor the old, because they would strap they would put a young ox next to an old ox, so that the young one would learn. But it's that teachable side of things. So I think it's an important thing. What have you learned about becoming teachable? The opposite of that. Give us something. You said something, so I'm just trying to drill in there a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think it's you do need to realize you don't know it all. I think that's a big part of it, and there's a lot of things that. And for me, especially moving into a new nation, new cultures, there's a lot to understand and learn about the culture and how, because I think the gospel doesn't change, but how you engage with different communities, that's the fancy word contextualization, where you like bring it into that context. What works here and what doesn't work? What is how do we engage with people? So I think there's a big part to learn about that, and just coming in with that heart of like, I just want to learn and grow.
So how have you maintained teachability? Because that is one of the things that you've done. How have you done it personally? What is your struggles? Has it been?
Well, I guess it's also just being self-aware, knowing like, man, I don't know stuff. I need to be open and teachable. But I guess even in when you are zealous and passionate and you've got a strong belief in something, you realize that, I don't know, just that you need to learn. You have to grow. You have to. There's no better way. You're part of a bigger story. You're part of a bigger community. You only see things in a certain way, and there's different perspectives, and you need to learn. So I think it's.
How have you guys learned? What are your thoughts on teachability?
Help me.
No, because I think you sometimes you don't know what your strengths are or the things that you've learned. So you're struggling, but I'm not, because you're you're teachable. I know that from the years, and we can see it. You've been learning. But to help those listening, come. Positive struggles.
How have I learned to be teachable?
Yeah. Are you teachable?
Yeah, maybe that's the first question. Am I teachable? What would you guys say?
Yeah.
I think part of being in this space and in this house, it's a culture. So you kind of get, it's the slippery banks, and then you get caught into what the culture of the people you're around also believe and do, if that makes sense. So, but I think when you say that, something that I thought about, and I don't know if I learned it or if,
you caught it.
Oh, I caught it. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to say it. It's just you catch it. And earlier this year, I had the privilege of talking around Joel 3 and Acts around when the Spirit of God comes, older men will dream dreams, young men will see visions. And one thing I realized in a general view and observation of culture, it's like when the young come, the old must fade out. You disappear, you are old, go away. Yeah. So we can do our own thing. Yeah. But you come into a space where you see this beauty of old and young working together, where the old are encouraging the young, where the young are allowed to run. And it's almost, you get caught into it. It's like, of course I want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of this thing that culture tries to drive. So because of that, and I think it's very much a Spirit of God thing, I would say. It's like the Holy Spirit comes and does something. It brings people together. There's a push towards what God wants to do. You get caught into it and you go, why wouldn't I want to be teachable? You know, why wouldn't I want to grow? Why wouldn't I want to learn? But to simplify it, I think it's something you catch. And it's...
I love what you're saying, because I think there is also a part to, like, it's not a one-sided thing. No, it's not just like the young people need to be teachable. I think the older generation needs to create a space, a culture where it's inviting teachability. So I guess because you want that culture where the young people are given opportunities, but there's also like but we want to help you, we want to invest in you. So it's like, man, I want to be teachable in that culture. And one of the things that we call it the leadership loop at Lifehouse, and there's 3 aspects to it. The first is agreement. So before we bring anybody into a place of growth and leadership, there has to be a sense of agreement, like agreement on obviously the big things like our theology, what we believe in Jesus, but also an agreement into our culture. So every home, every house, every church there's a certain culture, and there has to be some agreement, like, man, I agree with this culture. And from agreement, we have opportunity. So for those that there is agreement, we're like, okay, let's see how we can give opportunity. And the next one is feedback. So there's we call it the feedback loop, which is feedback is 2 ways. So it's not just, so we always say, like, we'd love to give you this opportunity. We'd love to keep chatting to you about it. We're going to give you feedback. Because if you don't tell people you're going to give them feedback and then you give them feedback, they're like, oh, did I do something wrong? And so I think it's important that the fathers are also saying, hey, I'm going to push you into this situation and throw you in. I would love you to step into this, but I'm going to give you feedback. I'm going to observe and I'm going to help you. And if you have any questions, come and ask me. There's 2-way feedback. And it's like, you can tell me what you think is working or what isn't working. So there's like, we can give each other feedback. So there's that kind of culture as well. And I think that creates a culture where being teachable is easier.
So I mean, if you're asking me about teachability, I think a couple of things that have helped me is, the first is like coming into faith in Jesus. And, for those listening, is like Adrian actually was the one that was discipling me the most in my early journey. I realized, like, coming in, there was a lot of things I thought I knew about God and Christianity and life and all those things. So much so that I would even like confidently tell other people, like, this is what I believe, or this is what the Bible says. Yeah. And then I think actually putting my faith in Jesus and realizing just the overwhelm of his mercy and grace and how I don't deserve to be in this in any, like, by a long shot, but somehow God still invites me into this story. I think that his kindness and his mercy almost disarms my pride in a sense of like, it's okay not to know, and it's okay to be figuring it out, because this journey is not about Warren's got to know all the answers and be the guy. This is actually, Jesus is the guy. I'm on the journey with the guy, and I can invite you into that journey too. So I think for me, like, I could talk about the ministry and learning through pain and all that stuff, but I think the most important for me is like the daily walk with Jesus, where I'm inviting the Holy Spirit into my context and where I'm at, and saying, Holy Spirit, reveal to me what needs to change, teach me, show me. And I think that teachability with God presents itself then with teachability with people, because I could go, I've got it all figured out, I know all the answers, which I think we're all susceptible to, is like, my theology is the best, my belief is the best. And then that unfortunately does show itself in I rebel against correction, or I rebel against other ideas, because I've got the revelation and the understanding, you don't have it, you don't get it. Well, actually, I think that an openness before God leads to an openness before people. So I think that's been, I suppose, the most important key for me, is like remaining humble and teachable before God, which then allows me to be humble and teachable before people.
Beautiful. I think we should wrap it up. It's kind of like now. See, we've been going for a freaking hour.
Yeah, over an hour.
But you guys could carry on. I need to leave.
Can I ask one more quick question that I think is really important for you?
Yes.
So you and Kat, knowing you over the past decade, you've been through adversity. There's been some discouraging situations. You've kept joy. You've kept an open and clean heart.
Faith.
You've kept faith, and you. The more time goes on, it's almost the more gentle and full of joy you become. What has the key been for you guys in that? Just quick.
This is me. Sorry, this is me.
That's you, John.
That's my wife.
Hey, has she been the key?
So yeah, I think
Well, let's put her onto video call and ask her.
ask her the question. So, I think for me, it's a combination of living a lifestyle of thankfulness. So I think one of the things I did share about a practice that we have implemented in our life is every evening at 9:00 we just share what we're thankful for, and just learning to see the joy and the beauty in every day, even in the hard days. But also I think the power of letting things go. We call it the big three at Lifehouse. We say if you can get these three practices in your life, you're going to grow strong as a disciple of Jesus. You're going to be full of joy. And the first one is journaling, which is just read the Bible every day, man. Just read, even if it's one verse, that's great. And just read the Bible every day and just record what is God saying to you. Write it down on your phone, in a book. Just put this practice into your life. And so for me, and if you miss a few days, don't worry, just pick up your Bible. Don't feel guilty. Don't just pick up your Bible and read it. God is a good Father. He wants to speak to you. So I think that practice of daily journal has been such a transformative part of my journey. And it's something that I was doing while I was here, and it was part of my journey, and something I've been doing ever since. And so I think that's one of the things, is really on a daily basis talking to God, being full of His Word. The second of the three is simple prayer. Prayer doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be fancy words. Just talk to your Father. And Paul actually says it in Philippians. He says, every time I think about you, I pray for you. So this idea of turn your thoughts into prayer. So if you're thinking about it, you can either go down the area of worry, or you can pray.
Yeah.
It's really good.
If you think about it, turn your thought into prayer. So every time there is something that we're worrying about or thinking, just turn it into prayer. And the third thing is living with a clean heart. So, I think that's such a big part. And that comes, I think that part of that is forgiveness, but also letting go of disappointment. So I think there was a time, maybe a few years ago, that I was living under a bit of a heaviness, and I came to a point where I realized, man, I hadn't let go of certain disappointments, because there were certain things I was really trusting for. I felt like I had a word, but then things didn't work out the way I had anticipated. And instead of getting angry and being frustrated and stuff, it's, man, just let it go, because that's going to rob me of joy. Because, man, there are things I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know whys. There are just some why questions I won't know. But there are things that I do know, which is God is good and He is faithful and His mercies never fail. And so instead of holding on to the why didn't this happen, why isn't this, and that's just going to drag you down. Whereas let that go and say, God, today's a new day. Thank you. And so just letting go of what you don't know and holding on to what you do know. So which is God's faithfulness.
There's so much more that we do know than what we don't know.
Yeah.
And what we don't know, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because if we did know it,
and how much different. How much you spend time on the I don't know.
So
contemplating the I don't know.
And just not the unforgiven, all of those things. Just let go.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So let it go, let it go. So I think it's and
let us go now.
I think just a quick word on let it go. I think there's a heart test you can have, because Jesus says whatever you out of the heart the mouth speaks. So look at your speech. Are you speaking positively? Are you speaking positively about your future? Are you speaking positively about your country? about the people around you, or is there negativity in your voice? Is there this isn't this person, and you gossiping about that person, and like that's a clear indication of your heart.
Yeah.
And so you need to come and say, God, create in me a clean heart. And that's where you need to realize, well, if my words are negative, if I'm speaking negatively about my future, our community's future, our nation's future, negatively about people, there's obviously something you need to deal with. And again, it doesn't need to be a long ceremony. You don't have to it doesn't have to be weeks of like weeping and putting ash on your head. You just, Jesus, I'm sorry, I need to sort this out. Help me.
Yeah.
And just deal with it, let it go. And because then your speech will get better. Yeah.
It's kind of the same as if you're thinking about somebody, like you said of Paul, when I think of you, I pray for you.
Yeah.
So when I think of my disappointment, I need to let it go.
Yeah.
Because I think we do sometimes live under this thing of, we do that, we let it go, but the thought comes back.
Yeah.
Because we remember that, or a situation.
Yeah.
And then we pick it up instead of letting it go. Eventually it doesesn't come back. So that is a process of continuous. And I think it would be great if it just, sometimes it goes once, but other times your thoughts keep coming, isn't it? You've got to take the thought captive and then let it go. Live a life of letting it go. And don't get condemned if the thought comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Just live clean. And His mercy is new every morning.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's good.
His mercy is new every morning.
Well, lots of powerful things we've just spoken about.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian, for joining
Yeah,
us.
really
Thanks
appreciate
for you're such a refreshing guy, and I just love what God is doing in your story. I love that it's inspiring us, and so I'm hoping this was a helpful conversation for you. Can I encourage you? Be praying for Lifehouse. Be praying for what's going on in Thailand for Adrian and Katherine. There's ongoing partnership. There'll be opportunities for us also to be possibly sending some people out and going to be a part of that. In these journeys. So
you could put up your hand and let you go. I mean, I think we did. So I've said to Adrian and thing, when they do start to get to a place where you can have outreach, we're gonna send people.
Come on.
So if that's one of you and we can do that, let's start doing that. You've heard the heart of it. But let's go and be a blessing. We want to do that. Be praying. It's really,
Appreciate
it. It's a wonderful thing. Please, I mean, do a like or write some comments, because we do like to get some feedback. Tell us what you would like to hear and those kind of things. It's an important thing for us. But thanks, Warren.
Cool. Thank you.
And the team, thanks for hosting us.
guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
see you in the next supplement.